let's configure cross-region data guard on Exadata with Oracle Database at Google Cloud. Google's global routing capability in VPCs allows resources in one region to communicate with resources in another region, with no VPC peering required. Using a VPC with global routing allows us to easily configure cross-region data guard over the Google network backbone. Replication traffic flows from the Exadata in Region 1 through the global VPC to an Exadata in Region 2. We've already configured VM clusters in each region, as well as a primary database in Region 1. Let's take a look. In the Google Cloud Console, we see a VM cluster provisioned in the US East 4 region. Let's click to manage an OCI, which takes us directly to the resource page in the OCI console. In order to allow connectivity, we have to update the network security groups for each VM cluster. We've already added ingress rules for the client subnet of the peer Exadata VM cluster. We've added access on both ports used by the listener, 1521 and 2484. You can see this based on the CIDR ranges for the peer Exadata system. This needs to be done on the standby system as well. Now that this is configured, the primary database will be able to reach the scan listeners of the remote Exadata VM clusters. We go back to the VM cluster and select our database, ExaDB1. We click on Data Guard Associations and then Enable Data Guard. From here, we select the peer region, availability domain, Exadata infrastructure ID, and Exadata VM cluster ID. Select an existing database home, assign a DB unique name, and enter the database password. We click Enable Data Guard, and the OCI automation takes care of the rest. As we see, the database is in an updating state, and we see that the peer database is currently being loaded. OCI's automation configures the database wallet and performs an RMAN duplicate of the database into the remote region. This process takes a little while depending on your data size and whether you've already created a database home. In our case, this took about 15 minutes to complete. Now the database has been created, and we can see that the data guard status shows as enabled. We click on the DataGuard peer database, which takes us to the standby region, where we can see that the database is configured with DataGuard enabled and the database role configured as a standby. If we look at the data guard associations, we can see the primary database peer and the work request, which shows that the creation succeeded. As you can see, creating a standby database on Oracle Database at Google Cloud is simple.